Support for this show comes from Wake Forest Baptist Health, the exclusive healthcare sponsor of the Martha Bassett Show. Wake Forest Baptist Health, dedicated to helping patients live healthy and active lives by providing the full spectrum of heart and vascular services. More at wakehealth.edu.
Hi, I'm Martha Bassett, and today we're airing our show from May the 5th, 2018. We featured accordionist and pianist Sam Reider, who brought along his talented group, the Human Hands. We also welcomed Bruce Piephoff, one of North Carolina's finest songwriters and poets. Joining me in the band, collaborating with all of the guests, was Fiona Burdett on cello and mandolin, Russell Kelly on electric guitar, Sarah Howell Miller on percussion and keyboards, Alex McKinney on dobro, and our announcer, Pat Lawrence, on bass. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Martha Bassett Show, coming to you from the historic Reeves Theater in Elkin, North Carolina, a home for music in the heart of the foothills. The Martha Bassett Show features national artists, local talent, and the music of Martha Bassett. We have a great show for you this evening. Our featured guest is Sam Reider and the Human Hands. Sam is redefining American music on the accordion while constantly pushing at the boundaries of folk, jazz, and roots music. Also on the show today, we are excited to have singer-songwriter and poet Bruce Piephoff from North Carolina, Greensboro. Over his distinguished career, Bruce's work has captured the heart and soul of the North Carolina Piedmont, crafting rich stories from his own explorations of its town and its people. And now, let's have a big hand for Martha Bassett.
Shoe fly pie and apple pan, dowdy, make your eyes light up, your tummy say howdy. Shoe fly pie and apple pan, dowdy, and never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Shoe fly pie and apple pan, dowdy, make the sun come up when heavens are cloudy. Shoe fly pie and apple pan, dowdy, and never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Mama, when you bathe, Mama, I don't want cake, Mama, for my sake. Just go to the oven and get some ever-loving shoe fly pie and apple pan down. Make your eyes light up, your tummy say howdy. Shoe fly pie and apple pan down. I never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Shoe fly pie, an apple pan, dowdy, make the sun come up when heavens are cloudy. Shoe fly pie, an apple pan, dowdy, I never get enough of that wonderful stuff. I never get enough of that wonderful stuff. I'd like to introduce my friend Bruce Piephoff. Bruce and I go way back. He's a Greensboro artist, singer-songwriter. He draws a lot of his inspiration from the Piedmont of North Carolina. So, yes, Bruce is not only a folk singer, but a poet as well. And I'm going to get out of his way.
I wrote this when I was working as a land surveyor. And I had just gotten married, and I had a small child. And I had just gotten out of graduate school in a creative writing program, and I discovered that they didn't care that much about poetry out on the job land surveying. And party chief, he called it poultry. So this is called Don't Like No Poultry. I don't like no poultry, it don't make no sense, says Coy, the party chief at work. Them poets think they're better than us, but they brought it on themselves. Well, I agree, a lot of poetry don't make no sense, but neither does swinging a bush axe in a thick pine forest with a minus 30-degree wind chill factor, even if I did bring it on myself. My axe rings out through the echoing forest as I swing in conversation with God. Poetry at last. I daydream while I work of those bodacious women back in poultry class. Scheme of taking a powder, walking off this job for cigarettes and never coming back. But there's bills to pay before I sleep and babies at home now. I walk back to the instrument, turn a backside on Manus Man and turn an angle to shake and bake on an EIP. Taking care of general business to support a poultry habit. After work, back home, I sing and pick a Martin D28 for my 10-month-old son while he plays at his Busy Bee Activity Center. He good as gold. He likes my poetry. You know, I quit school after 2 years at Carolina, in Chapel Hill, and that's when I started playing gigs out in the local bars and stuff. I was about 19, and I just finished 50 years. So this is my 50th year. But after playing songs for a while, writing songs, I guess it was about 6 or 7 years after that, I saw a reading on public television. It's coming from somewhere in California, and it was Charles Bukowski reading poems. And he had a refrigerator up on the stage, and he'd read a few poems. He'd walk over and get a beer out of the refrigerator and just keep getting as drunk as he could till he was like sparring with the audience. And it's like, man, this guy, he writes about stuff like working in a slaughterhouse or a post office, delivering mail, real life kind of stories, and he's funny, and he gets drunk, you know. And, you know, I was...
You thought, that's the job for me.
I said, I'm going to lean over toward the poetry thing, you know. Plus, you don't have to get a band, you know, you can just show up.
Bruce, tell us about this next song.
Well, I was working down in eastern North Carolina, and I live in Greenville, North Carolina. I lived next door to some folks who worked in tobacco. They were migrant workers, and they had this expression for working up and down the East Coast. They called it riding the stream. We picked the oranges in early Florida spring. In April, head north, riding the East Coast stream. Up to North Carolina, down east on the plains. Cropping tobacco, singing of the pain. The pain of the lonely so far from Mexico. Lonely 'cause no one speaks the language we know. We work for the coastal farmer and he hides us away. 'Cause with illegal status, they won't let you stay. Sing me a lullaby so sweet on the strings, sitting on the front porch in the tenant house swing. Play me a melody, a soft Spanish breeze, while I ride on the roads on the East Coast stream. My brother plays accordion, I play guitar and sing about the dreams migrants dream on the East Coast stream. Riding the stream all the way up to Maine. The Big Apple's for winter and then head south again. dream of a better life for our kids. We dream of the fields, all the work we did. Dream of success, the American dream. But meanwhile we're treading water on the East Coast stream. Sing me a lullaby so sweet on the strings, sitting on the front porch in the tenant house swing. Play me a melody, a soft Spanish breeze, while I ride on the roads on the East Coast street. Sing me a lullaby so sweet on the strings, sitting on the front porch in the tenant house swing. Play me a melody, a soft Spanish breeze, while I ride on the roads on the East Coast street. Sing me a lullaby so sweet on the strings, sitting on the front porch in the tenant house swing. Play me a melody, a soft Spanish breeze, while I ride on the roads on the East Coast. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bruce Piephoff, Sam Reider.
The Martha Bassett Show is supported by G&B Energy, in operation since 1930 with 9 locations and a selection of gas lighting, awnings, and outdoor grills and appliances. More at gbenergy.com. Sam Reider grew up in California before making his way back to New York, where he was born. A longtime musician, he made his way to accordion later in life, which changed both his outlook and musical direction.
The accordion, I had just brought it back from San Francisco at the time, and I had started, I guess, sort of thinking about how cool it would be to play accordion, but I wasn't really interested in playing accordion jazz. Mm-hmm. What I was really interested in about it was how much of a blank canvas it gave me. It was something that I had spent so many years studying classical and jazz piano, and I felt like there was so much weight of history upon it, like all of the different amazing voices on the instrument. And I really, really care about finding a voice in what I do. So the accordion was a moment where I was like, wow, well, no one is playing accordion with the newgrass, like bluegrass thing. Thank you. That's Alex Hargraves on the violin. Dominic Leslie on the mandolin. Roy Williams on the guitar. Dave Speranza on the bass. These are the Human Hands. We're from Brooklyn, New York. We're really happy to be down here with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much to Martha for having us. Such a pleasure. We're playing music for you tonight from our new record, which is called Too Hot to Sleep. It's music that I wrote during an extended period of insomnia and touring last year. And instead of tossing and turning while my radiator was making creepy noises and making my room too hot, I decided to get up and write some music. That first tune was called The Swamp Dog Hobble, which is actually a New York native plant species. I stumbled across it one day in the Brooklyn Botanic Garden and thought that it was way too psychedelic of a name to not write a song for it. So we're going to close out this little set here with a piece called Other Worlds. This one's inspired by one of my favorite accordionists, a guy from Argentina named Chango Spasiuk. Go look him up online later.
It's intermission time here at the Reeves Theater in Elkin, North Carolina. The Martha Bassett Show is produced in collaboration with WFDD Public Radio.
The Martha Bassett Show makes its home at the Reeves Theater and Cafe, downtown Elkin's newly renovated landmark. Originally opened as an Art Deco movie theater in 1941, it was fully operational until 1973 and later reopened in 2018. While you can't catch our live show at the theater just yet, you can watch live-streamed concerts by the Reeves House Band and the Martha Bassett Show. Welcome back to the second half of the Martha Bassett Show. Sam Reider took to the piano with his band The Human Hands to accompany Martha on this Cuban heartbreak classic, Viente Anos.
¿Qué te importa que te ame si tú no me quieres ya? El amor que ha pasado no se debe recordar. Fui la ilusión de tu vida, un día lejano ya. Hoy represento el pasado, no me puedo conformar. Hoy represento el pasado, no me puedo conformar. Si las cosas que uno quiere se pudieran alcanzar, tú me quisieras lo mismo que 20 años atrás. Con qué tristeza miramos un amor que se nos va. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Si las cosas que uno quiere se pudieran alcanzar, tú me quisieras lo mismo que 20 años atrás. Con qué tristeza miramos un amor que se nos va. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad.
You never know. The kind of thing that we do, I mean, you could get recognition at the end of your life or at the, you know. Believe me, I'm getting close. I don't even believe it, you know, sometimes that I'm almost 70, you know. It's crazy. So I started writing some poems and sent a few. At the time, I was living over near Raleigh. I was working at this hospital as a guitar and recreation therapist. And so I'd write poems at night after I got off work. And I sent some over here to Chuck Austin, this guy who had this publication, Southern Fried Turnip Greens. published a few of my poems. And so then I learned about the MFA program that Fred Chappell taught in.
Right.
And I said, man, I'd really like to be in that and learn more about the craft of writing, but I got to finish my undergraduate degree before I can get into grad school. So, you know, I finished up the undergraduate here, and then I got in the MFA program.
Okay.
And that was 2 years of hanging out with great writers from all over the world, man. I'm going to read a poem about a teacher I had. And when he retired, I was living down at Holden Beach, working down there, and I wrote this poem for Bob Watson. Greetings from Holden Beach. Dear Bob, moon in the morning, still up big and full as the wind waves through the sea oats by the canal. Skies pink and blue, and I think of you today over coffee. This word has come that you're retiring. 3 seagulls sit quietly perched on poles by the dock as a lone pelican passes. Bob, this road's a nice place to visit, but I'm not sure I want to live here. I remember you shuffling around Tate Street, in and out of the coffee shop, checking out the rhythms of the street and the voices of the people. You were the first poet I ever knew, and you coached me on how to hit the low, hard inside meter and the metaphorical curve, to catch similes with 2 hands first, to catch rhythm on the short hop, to throw a dramatic monologue and not to sing for the fences. One of your many students, scatter now like fuzz from these sea oats crossing the canal in the breeze. The lady next door painted her house pink with big flowers all over it, so her lost daughter could always find her way home from the beach. You could make a good poem out of that story, Bob. I squint my eyes just a bit, and the sunlight looks like diamonds sparkling on the canal. The wind continues to blow, making the only sound save for the hammering of nails on the roof of a house by carpenters on the seaside. Alone on an island late fall, I think of you, the poet, teacher, and friend to us all. 6 more hungry seagulls perch on the dock as I take a peek at the fat phone bills and heave crusts of bread at the birds. Wish you were here. Thank you. This is a song I wrote driving through the Nantahala Gorge. Really beautiful country. Early morning through the Nantahala Gorge. April Oriole singing to the Lord. River winding just like the road. It's a sight to behold. It's a sight to behold. Cup of coffee at the roadside stand. Mountain apples and a little string band. I thank the gods for making me a man. It's a sight to behold. It's a sight to behold. Aches and fears all drift away. Feeling no pain on this sunny day. Makes me think there might just be a way. It's a sight to behold. It's a sight to behold. Hawks are tumbling floating in the sky, balanced in the air. He flies like I'll be flying with his bottle of wine. It's a sight to behold. It's a sight to behold. Early morning through the Nantahala Gorge, April Orioles singing to the Lord. River winding just like the road. It's a sight to behold. It's a sight to behold. Thank you so much.
Bruce Piephoff. Support for this show comes from Wake Forest Baptist Health, dedicated to guiding people to wellness by providing care for life at every age and every stage. More at wakehealth.edu. Sam Reider was an accomplished jazz pianist before beginning his accordion explorations. He and Martha had a delightful time revisiting this mutual favorite, The Nearness of You, with Dave Speranza joining on the bass.
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me if you only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me if you only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you.
It's in Celtic music, it's in Zydeco music. It was, in fact, in Bill Monroe's first band, but through that, I discovered a lot of other styles of folk music from around the world that I've realized either have the accordion or really lend themselves to accordion. And the accordion is beloved in so many places around the world. Like, I go to any country in South America, and the accordionists are just like the beloved focal point of music. And it's true in Europe as well. But it became a way of me getting to explore the world a little bit. And I really think of it that way, which is, I mean, that's just one of my big values. Is I really love to learn, and I love to explore new cultures, and the accordion is the perfect way for me to do that because it's portable, and it just doesn't have no one's really seen one before. No one's seen it, and they have seen it. It's like everyone has an uncle or aunt that played the accordion, but at the same time, they haven't ever really seen anyone play it. So, since their family reunions 20 years ago. So it's a great, it starts conversations constantly.
Oh yeah.
From a musical standpoint, I sort of just see it as a sound and kind of just like almost a tool for expressing myself.
Dominic Leslie, Roy Williams, Dave Speranza, Alex Hargraves. Thank you.
That's our show for today, folks. Thanks to all the musicians for sharing your music. This show was produced by Pat Lawrence with assistance from the Reeves Theater. Our background music today was provided by Russell Kelly.
And as always, a special thanks to our home, the historic Reeves Theater and Cafe in Elkin, North Carolina, a home for music in the heart of the foothills. And all the folks on the technical staff, Jeff Irving, Russell McCumber, with help from Corey Myers, Anna Leonard, and Erica Frazier.
Thanks for listening to our show. Remember, you can follow the entire schedule, listen to our past radio shows, and subscribe to our podcast at marthabassettshow.com. Until next week, take good care of yourselves and each other.